Wow.
It's funny that that's a bad word in England because it sounds so harmless.
Yes, it does.
It sounds silly.
Wow, that just stopped a hilarious
that's amazing.
segment of the Opie and Anthony show. You were on a roll too, my friend.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny.
It made Jim leave the studio. He's going to march
It'd be
down the
funny
hall
if people
and
go
talk
to
Tom.
see him now because they take our word for it, and then there's just blank spaces in his accent.
No, he was really doing the whole thing on the air, and
just.
Well, okay, just for the record, there's no racism in England.
Not even at all.
I just wanted to be quite certain. There's none anywhere in the world. None.
No,
it's
none.
all love.
It is.
I bet you they didn't dump Snowflake.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not
that's the
talking
thing
about
is that, but the words that black people can say about white people are they can't hurt because, like, the words that people call black people bring them back to all the terrible things that have ever happened to them. That's why they hurt so much. But you call me a cracker, it brings me as I'm like, oh yeah, well, I owned a lot of land and people. And
where does the word cracker come from? Where does that come from?
It's something that you call somebody. It means crack of the whip. So it's like it doesn't really make it's not like you're taking a person down like cracker. Yeah, well, yes, a white suit, some lemonade.
Where does honky
a mint
from?
julep? A mint julep.
What about honky? Is honky what is that one?
I don't know how honky.
It's just a dumb word.
Some people say it's because of the way that white Americans talk.
Kind of nasally, honk.
Yeah.
Okay. That would make sense.
I don't think there's one white person that has been offended by that word.
Not a one. My daughter cried.
When she's called a honky?
Somebody called her a honky in school. Because they were trying
serious?
No, of course not.
I thought that's an awesome story.
That would have been a great story.
She was carrying a book and wearing sunglasses, and there was a bunch of black people calling her honky. And as the National Guard was leading her into a
right
segregated school.
Yes, exactly.
What happened, Jimmy?
I just saw Tom in the hall. He's like, I talked to him. I don't think it should have been dumped. I don't think that was Tom.
Oh, well, F and A.
Am I in trouble now?
No, you're not.
No.
The guy is, look, I know he's
bloody honky.
The guy turned
You have to leave the country, though.
You know how frustrating that is? That was probably the funniest segment of the entire show, and a lot of people didn't get to hear it because we got a panicky Pete on the button.
Yeah.
Panicky a little worried, but the racial
line
stuff,
of the day will be silent.
So can we say the word?
I would hope so, yeah.
Tom said it's okay?
He just said it shouldn't be. He said I talked to him. I'm like, Tom, the guy wrecked this segment. I know he's trying to do his job, but he wrecked this segment.
Yeah. Jim.
I mean, it happens.
Jim Jeffries, don't overdo it, but maybe you could go back there.
Nignog's still a bad word. Is that one going to
Well, that's what
English people call black people.
Nignog. It's not even an American word.
No.
I'm not saying I agree with
those awful racist people.
Yes.
I really wish they wouldn't use this word.
My point is they used to in the 70s. They used to have a problem with black people. And then in the 80s, it became they had problems with the Indians and the Pakistanis was the big problem that they had, and they united about that. And then it was like after September the 11th, they had problems with Arab people. And now, since the EU has opened up, they hate the Polish people because the Polish people will do a kitchen for you for half the price. And the British are the laziest workers in the world, and everything's overcharged. I had some renovations done in my house. Of course I got Polish people in. I wouldn't make an English person make me anything. They couldn't build anything. They're drinking like 10 cups of tea a day, the lazy pricks. They really are like the average English statement, I know.
Case here in New York where a guy was shot, 20 times? He came out of his house. A 911 call came in. A mother said that her son is acting all weird and violent. Could you send the police? And in the background, the son, all you hear him saying is, I got a gun. Come on, bring it. So that's what the 911 operator then conveyed to the police.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that when you call 911, it doesn't go to the cop car as he's answering. The cop just hears, we have a call, violent man with a weapon.
Yeah. It's a very dangerous version of telephone.
Right. So they go there. Now, a second 911 call comes in. And apparently this one, which just turned up today, the mother again calls and somehow says, kind of vaguely, that her son doesn't have a gun. But the son keeps saying he's got a gun.
How do you vaguely say you don't have a gun?
Yeah.
Because she was kind of like...
my son doesn't have a gun.
Yeah, he doesn't have a gun. Well, the 911 operator asked, is he armed? Does he have a gun? And she went, he said... something. It wasn't like, no, he does not have a gun. Don't shoot him.
It was a bit vague.
Yeah, it was a little vague. Yeah. And that message doesn't get to the cops. They're already, they're flying. They could be there already.
Yeah, it's yes or no.
Right. Yeah. So he comes out of the window finally, and the cops tell him to stop. He grabs into his pants and under his shirt and pulls something out. They open fire on him. It turns out to be a brush.
Yeah.
It's a brush.
He wanted to look good.
I agree with the cops on that. I reckon kill the...
Yeah. The cops were well within their right. They felt... The cop doesn't... There doesn't have to be a gun. They just have to feel that their life is being threatened to use deadly force.
And if he was pulling a brush out, he was just being cheeky, wasn't he? At that moment, he didn't want to...
Cheeky. That's one word
he was just being a bit cheeky there.
Yes, he was. I think you're right.
And implying that he had a gun, so kill the bastard.
But I heard Earl on Ron and Fez yesterday commenting on this, and of course Earl was all against the police on this one, saying they shot at him even after he dropped the brush. And all I could think of, I wanted to call in, but all I could think of is the cops going, he dropped a brush, which means he's still got a gun. And just opened up on him.
He reached into his pants and pulled out a black hand. So it needed to be shot.
Pretty much. Some people are saying that.
They look like their hands look like guns.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We really got to take a break.
Yeah, we got
really late. We got Jim Jeffries in studio, Louis C.K.